What's going on, guys? So in this video I will be changing out the suspension on my K truck. I got this idea from a YouTuber, or at least he does have a video on YouTube doing this, but I originally found him on Reddit. Now I will post his video on the link below because I think he deserves the credit because he's the one that came up with it. But pretty much what we're gonna do is put the 240SX S13 suspension on this, and a couple little mods here and there that he shows in his video that I'll be doing here. But since I do have the death wobble, and I'm pretty sure I have a couple K truck people in this subscribed that I want to show them this and how I do it and see if it works, because it might have worked for him, but who knows if it'll work for me. So I hope it does. And the only reason I'm doing this, instead of trying to change out any arms, any others like components, is because everything else, bushings, all the arms, they look good. Like there's nothing that I'm seeing that looks like it needs to be changed, because it didn't do the death wobble before this with the original wheels. And I understand that these are so much heavier, so that could be a problem. And so the other day, I told my daughter, get in the truck and move the steering back and forth just to see like what I can see, see if there's any components that are, wiggling, squealing. And I did see that some of them were squeaking a little bit, and it was mostly the driver's side. And when I looked up, there's a suspension boot, which I'll show you in a little bit, that was like moving back and forth a lot. So I think that rubber piece on the suspension was causing some trouble. So instead of trying to buy that piece or those two bushings, because I would like to buy them, both, it's about $100 and something bucks. So I decided, look, in the future, I might have to lower this truck or hire this truck. So I'd rather just buy new suspension and to lower it or hire it. But of course, for these trucks, it's very rare to have any type of suspension or aftermarket suspension that can lower or hire these trucks. I think the highest one that I found was like $1,000, and it would do the job, but I'm not gonna pay that much. And this is where I found that guy on Reddit, which again, sorry, I just don't remember his name right now, but I will mention it at the end, and I'll have a link in the description of his video so you guys can watch his, because it's his idea and I don't want to take his credit whatsoever. But let's go ahead and start changing this out. Let me show you the boot that I'm talking about, and we'll go from there. All right, so I took off the seat just so I can go ahead and start working on this, but let me go ahead and show you the rubber piece. Pretty much sits under this metal piece. And there's the bushing. I haven't really paid attention too much to it, besides just when I told my daughter to move the steering back and forth. But I'm pretty sure that's the problem. It looks very corroded in a sense, like it has a little bit of cracks. So I would really want to get that out. So that's the big problem that we're having. All right, just removed it. That's the little rubber piece I was talking about. For some reason, when my daughter was turning the wheel, not this side specifically, but the other side, the driver's side, was spinning. This rubber piece was spinning, and I don't think it should be doing that. I understand the suspension, having a turn and stuff, but not that. So I think that just gave it a lot of leeway that we don't want. But yeah, hopefully we can fix this. So now pretty much what's gonna happen is we have to cut it to this size. Pretty much it's gonna be the new suspension, which I'll show you in a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit longer. So how he did in the video is he cut this a little bit shorter on the other suspension, and then the bolt holes are gonna be a little bit bigger. So we're gonna have to drill the holes on the K truck a little bit bigger. So this right here, but we're gonna wait so we can get a perfect measurement of like right in the middle. And yeah, so the suspension hasn't gotten here, so I gotta wait. It should be here today in a little bit, and we'll continue this video. All right, so I just got the other suspension. Here it is. It's only the two front that I'm going to do, obviously, because this has leaf springs in the back, and I don't really need to change the back unless some problems start appearing. But right now, what I'm going to do is pretty much follow his video and get the same measurement that this has, because I want the same ride height. I don't need this to be any, any lower or any higher. So get that ride height, move this just so it can sit just right to where the bolts need to be as well, and also the same ride height. And this also has adjustments up here, so you can do the caster and the you want it a little bit stiffer and change all that stuff. But I'm gonna leave everything as is for now. Also, the studs are a little bit thicker, as you can see. These are way smaller and these are way thicker, so we need to drill that out, and the right dimensions, because this fit perfect, like barely. So definitely have to drill the holes a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and just measure this and go from there. And also we need to cut this plate. He actually creates a template for you. Obviously you can just, measure all this and create the holes yourself, but might as well just get his template. Again, his video will be in the description below, so you can click on it and watch his video. I want him to get all the credit, just showing you how I'm doing it as well, which is practically the same way. All right, so just drilled the hole a little bit bigger, pretty much up to where the silver starts going on, that much bigger for now. Gonna go ahead and try it out and then see how close I am, and then just continue from there. All right, so just tested it. I need to drill a little bit here. Obviously don't want it to be super off, but everything's aligned except here. So I can either put it back to normal and kind of drill a little bit on each, which would be the right thing to do. But I'm just gonna go ahead and drill this one out, because it's just like, it's right there. Just needs that little bit. All right, so just finished printing the PDF. Here it is, just colored in the holes that I'm gonna drill. And that extra little bit that you see there that's missing on the paper, you're gonna have to cut that out as well. And the other side is gonna be a little bit bigger. And the reason he did that was because there's a little lip right there that it's gonna make contact. So we need to get rid more metal on this side than the other side. All right, so this is the first test fit of the whole bottom piece of the suspension. As you can see, this bolt is not going all the way through. Now that's just a mistake on my part. I tried to drill a hole and I was just off a little bit, or completely. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill this one a little bit more this way. It won't wobble here because it just, that's like as far as it goes. So this should be fine. This hole was cut right, so the bolt went right through. And obviously this part, the little template that I had to cut out. Now it says to cut down here. I haven't cut it yet, but it doesn't seem to be affecting it too much since the bolt kind of stops it. You can kind of see right there that it right there doesn't hit. So the bolt should be able to stop it. And also I need to add a washer. I don't remember if he added one on his, but I'm definitely gonna have to add a washer here to kind of make that, fill that whole gap in. So definitely we'll look into that, see how many, hopefully I can use just one pretty thick washer to fill that in. And yeah, guys, it's looking pretty good. This is just the passenger side that I've done so far. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, make that bolt hole a little bit bigger, and try to see if I can completely install this and put it together. Just threw a quick Rust-Oleum ultra cover here that I had. Perfect. Have this red laying around, so just threw it on there. Don't really feel like doing too much. Just a quick paint job. These at the end of the day are gonna rust up anyway. But yeah, looks pretty good. Did the cut, the drilling, and it's ready to be installed once it dries up. And hopefully it works. Let's keep working. So finished installing the whole thing. Here's what it looks like right now. You know, maybe we'll have some interference here, but I want to check first, but I don't think we will. Should be fine, but we'll see. So all this bolted down, just need to fix this up. Now up here, the seat didn't want to go all the way down, so I just went ahead and cut the little tips off. I think in the guy's video, he put washers here to pretty much make this go up, and or put it in the bottom, I believe, the washers, and something like that, just so this can go down in a sense. But I decided to just cut the tips off because that's pretty much most of the bulk. It's a tight fit, but it still seals pretty good. So I'll leave it at that. If I need to cut a little bit more, it's fine. I mean, we have plenty of thread. And yeah, so let me just finish up here so I can do the other side. All right, so I finished the passenger side, finished the driver's side. I'm gonna go ahead and show you something that I had to do. So everything like normal, like before, you know, drill the holes on top a little bigger. Had a little trouble again with these bottom holes for the brackets with the mock-up. So had to work that a little bit more. But that's what it looks like right now on the driver's side. Also, the line for the brakes, the bracket that holds it, I had to bend it forward a little bit just so the little rubber piece will be able to put that on. So that's good. And it shouldn't be a problem. And as well as cut the, how I did before, how I showed in the other side. I already did it, but yeah, and you can't feel it, so it's not so bad. You can cut it shorter if you want. You have so much thread on there. Also, the space on this side, I measured the other side, I think it was 3 inches. This side is 3.5. Now, I didn't set it up to be like that, but I actually don't mind it because of the weight distribution. Because once I sit down, it's gonna go down. So maybe you'll bring it down to 3 inches. Not to mention, maybe if someone sits on the other side, then that would be the case. But since it's mostly just me driving this all the time, it should be fine. So yeah, gonna pretty much see if there's enough clearance here as well when I turn and stuff. If there is, I won't cut this for now until it starts giving me trouble again. So we'll leave it at that. Everything is done. Just need a wheel alignment. I kind of have no choice but to drive it like this for now until I go get a wheel alignment. I was gonna do it myself, but I'm just not so confident in doing it. I've seen a whole bunch of DIYs, but whatever, I really don't want to do that. But let's go ahead and drive it and see how it rides. All right, so right now, I'm driving with a super heavy load in the back. I would say about a total, maybe 800 pounds. The truck, if I remember right, has a 3,000 pound limit. So it's driving pretty well, no death wobble, thankfully. Still going pretty strong. This is the first time I put like a lot of really big weight on it. I had a farmer's market, so on the way over there I was pretty scared, but it all went well. Now I'm heading back and trying to see if, you know, trying to take more potholes, you know, not fast, but just trying to see what type of stress level it can take. I'd rather learn if it breaks than, you know, wait till something happens later. So yeah, so I guess we'll keep driving it and I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. I guess we'll keep driving it and I'll get back to you guys. All right, so let's see if we can pick up the truck to 60, a little bit past 60, which will be around 40 once we hit like 70 or so. Let's see if we can get to that speed with this weight to see if it hits any death wobble. And I already tested it without the weight, but I kind of wanted to show you guys with the weight, the death wobble. So here it is, picking up speed. And there it is. It would have hit the death wobble right now. So you guys can kind of hear everything around me. That it's driving really well. You don't hear anything crazy, so it's doing really good. All right, so we ended up coming up with our first problem, and I wasn't going to include this in the video, but it kind of happened last minute, and I had already shot the whole video. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you. It's in the passenger side of the truck, but the bushing of the control arm gave out, and there's a whole bunch of clunking and whatnot when you're driving. So I'm gonna have to change that out. But I don't want to buy the whole arm because the whole arm's like $150 or $100. I don't remember, but I kind of want to change both out. So I'm gonna see if I can find an alternate or different way of doing it. So let me just go ahead and show you the ball joint right now. So look at that thing. It popped and just gave out. It's giving me a lot of problems. I'm gonna have to drive it like that for now. Now, I did mention that this one and the other one looks like they wanted to give out, mostly this side. So I guess I was right. So it did finally give out, and hopefully when I put the new one, it doesn't have that problem anymore. But let's go check the other side. So seems like this side's pretty good. But yeah, suspension looks pretty good. Everything looks like it's working, doing its thing. All right, so also other problems I ran into with the rims being a little wider. I might as well include this because I kind of showed the rims on last video and installing them and the problems I came up with, which is the death wobble, which I'm explaining and trying to fix in this video. So I'm going to show you the other problems when you put wide body or when you put wide wheels on your truck. One of them being you cannot open your like side doors. So right here, the rear deck lid doors stop and they hit on the tire. So if you were to get a smaller tire, it would definitely hit the rim, but in this case it's just falling on the tire. But I mean, it still works. It's not a huge problem. I can still pretty much grab things pretty easily from here. But yeah, that's one of them. Not the biggest one, but it is a problem. And again, another problem is if this is lower, you're gonna hit and the clearance issue right here in the front. But luckily with the inches that I got in each side, it kind of fixed any type of rubbing or anything. Just of course the control arm that I just mentioned is the big main problem. But the wheels seem to be holding up. How I said, I had about 800 pounds on here and it held on. Now maybe the tires aren't rated for that much or the rims, but I mean it held on, so that's good. That's good news. And everything looks pretty good as far as that. All right, so now that kind of show you all the problems that popped up, I will end the video here. Right now I'm driving out. The death wobble was fixed, thankfully. Of course the control arm is a problem, but this is what we wanted to test. We wanted to test what other problems came up, and putting 800 pounds in the back with these studs that have no like kind of hub holding it together to put most of the weight on is pretty cool. And I don't think I'll put more than that as far as weight back there. I have before. No, I don't think I've done more weight than I have right then and there. Maybe I'll test it to its limits in the future and see how much it can hold. But right now I really want to enjoy the truck and I kind of need it. It's my daily driver. But hopefully that fixes y'all's problem with the death wobble. And also I want to mention the YouTuber who originally fixed this, and it has a video on it that you need to go watch that I'll leave in the description below. His name is Ink and Pistons and Slush Box, I believe. So Ink, which I'll try to see if I can put it here on the video, but Ink and Pistons / Box is his name of his channel. And thank you, bro. You saved not just me, but maybe a lot of people already in the community who are having this problem with the death wobble. And hopefully he comes up with more things that and more mods that we can do, because we really want to put these trucks super awesome and super built up, because they're just so fun and so cool. So definitely go comment his video, like his video, go watch his video. I don't know, but he's the original person who came up with the idea. So thanks to him and his brain, he got it done for us. Also, I will make a video on the control arm maybe in the future, so stick around for that. And yeah, guys, I'll leave you there. Catch you guys on the next one. Laters.